Hi there! Let me know about the occupation blacksmith from this video. So, friends, let's start. Blacksmith. The black in blacksmith refers to the black fire scale, a layer of oxides that forms on the surface of the metal during heating. The origin of smith is debated. It may come from the Old English word smythe, meaning to strike, or it may have originated from the Proto-German smithas, meaning skilled worker. A blacksmith is a metalsmith who creates objects primarily from wrought iron or steel, but sometimes from other metals, by forging the metal, using tools to hammer, bend, and cut. Blacksmiths produce objects such as gates, grills, railings, light fixtures, furniture, sculpture, tools, agricultural implements, decorative and religious items, cooking utensils, and weapons. Smithing process. Blacksmiths work by heating pieces of wrought iron or steel until the metal becomes soft enough for shaping with hand tools, such as a hammer, an anvil and a chisel. Heating generally takes place in a forge fueled by propane, natural gas, coal, charcoal, coke, or oil. Some modern blacksmiths may also employ an oxyacetylene or similar blowtorch for more localized heating. Induction heating methods are gaining popularity among modern blacksmiths. Color is important for indicating the temperature and workability of the metal. As iron heats to higher temperatures, it first glows red, then orange, yellow, and finally white. The ideal heat for most forging is the bright yellow-orange color that indicates forging heat. Because they must be able to see the glowing color of the metal, some blacksmiths work in dim, low-light conditions, but most work in well-lit conditions. The key is to have consistent lighting, but not too bright. Forging. The process smiths use to shape metal by hammering, differs from machining in that forging does not remove material. Instead, the smith hammers the iron into shape. Forging uses 7 basic operations or techniques: drawing down, shrinking, a type of upsetting, bending, upsetting, swagging, punching, forge, welding, drawing. Drawing lengthens the metal by reducing one or both of the other 2 dimensions. Bending. Bending can be done with the hammer over the horn or edge of the anvil or by inserting a bending fork into the hardy hole, the square hole in the top of the anvil, placing the workpiece between the tines of the fork, and bending the material to the desired angle. Upsetting. Upsetting is the process of making metal thicker in one dimension through shortening in the other. One form is to heat the end of a rod and then hammer on it as one would drive a nail. The rod gets shorter, and the hot part widens. An alternative to hammering on the hot end is to place the hot end on the anvil and hammer on the cold end. Welding. Welding is the joining of the same or similar kind of metal. A modern blacksmith has a range of options and tools to accomplish this. Finishing. A simple jig, a tool that the smith might only use a few times in the shop, may get the minimum of finishing, a rap on the anvil to break off scale and a brushing with a wire brush. Files bring a piece to final shape, removing burrs and sharp edges, and smoothing the surface. Heat treatment and case hardening achieve the desired hardness. The wire brush, as a hand tool or power tool, can further smooth, brighten, and polish surfaces. Grinding stones, abrasive paper, and emery wheels can further shape, smooth, and polish the surface. Blacksmith Striker. A blacksmith striker is an assistant, frequently an apprentice, whose job is to swing a large sledgehammer in heavy forging operations, as directed by the blacksmith. Blacksmith's materials. When iron ore is smelted into usable metal, a certain amount of carbon is usually alloyed with the iron. The amount of carbon significantly affects the properties of the metal. If the carbon content is over 2%, the metal is called cast iron, because it has a relatively low melting point and is easily cast. It is quite brittle, however, and cannot be forged, so therefore not used for blacksmithing. The tools and other metal work varies by carbon content. The terms are never interchangeable. Other materials. Many blacksmiths also incorporate materials such as bronze, copper, or brass in artistic products. Aluminum and titanium may also be forged by the blacksmith's process. Bronze is an alloy of copper and tin, while brass is an alloy of copper and zinc. Each material responds differently under the hammer and must be separately studied by the blacksmith. Thank you for watching. Subscribe our channel for update.